Hey, besties. Welcome to Behind the Shade. I am so excited to bring to you today my very first interview here on my channel. I have a young lady who I will be talking to. She is dedicated to her art, okay? She is ambitious, talented, driven, multifaceted, and her bright and beautiful smile will brighten up any room that she's in, okay? I mean, she is an up and coming movie star, okay? Her resume says she's an actress, a writer, a content creator, voiceover, a model, spokesperson, brand ambassador, a host, an MC. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, okay? And I mean, she's up and coming. So I say this is the next best thing. So, Angela, Cynthia, Kiki, Sanaa, y'all need to move over because a new talent has just hit. She just finished being a supporting role. She did a supporting role on the new film No Address. And we're going to dive into that in a minute. But she's done other supporting roles in films such as June and A Walk by Faith. She starred in the movie Worthy of Survival and was the lead in Two Cycles. As far as television goes, she has co-starred in Station 19, the show 20s. She has guest starred on Snapped. We got to get into that because honey, what? What was you doing on Snap? Okay, probably acting, I'm sure. She's also done commercials such as Toyota Camry, Tampax, DraftKings Super Bowl, Metaverse, Pepco, Stanford Children's Hospital, Cadillac, the 2020 election, Fabletics, MaxiGlide, United Nations, and Thursday Night Football. She has also done work for 8 other big corporations. Let me introduce to you Hollywood's busiest actress, Crystal Gix. Woo! Hi, Crystal.
Oh, hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm glad to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
me.
taking a little bit of time. I know you've been busy. I've been following you for a while. So thank you for being here. So before we get into things, where are you?
I am in LA, North Hollywood area, the Valley.
But like, where are you? Are you at home? You at your boyfriend's house? McDonald's parking lot? Where are you? Where you at
I'm
right
at
now?
I'm at my man's. No, I'm kidding. I'm at home.
I'm at my Mia's house.
No, I'm at
Okay,
home.
so let's get into some things. So you're an actress, but
Yes.
don't you sing too? What's
I
her
can
voice?
I can hit a note or two.
You can
Yes.
hold it in
Yeah, I
the
can hold
bag,
the note. Yep,
and
I
can
can
you
hold.
walk it down the street?
Yes, I can hold the note, walk it down the street, do a little spin and come back.
Well, why? I don't see on your resume. I don't see singer on here.
You know, it wasn't the focus when it came to,
Okay.
acting stuff, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Can you dance?
I can dance. I am retired from dancing
How
due
do
to
you retire from dancing?
listen, the knees stopped working like they used to.
I
All the
understand that. I got 2 old ones that just give me the blues.
Yeah,
Oh,
people turn 25 and the knees just stop doing what they used to do. I don't know why. I don't know if it's everybody's generation, but my generation, we stopped at 25. It was like, oh, that's a
I
crap.
blame it on, I think mine started like in my 30s, but my generation, we blame it on the Tootsie Roll and just partying and dancing. Like we used to dance. We wasn't two-stepping in our 20s. We was dancing, and now we can barely walk. But let's start from the beginning of your career, who you are. Where are you from, Miss Crystal? Where are you? Where were you born?
I'm from Oakland, California.
Okay, Oakland
I'm
raised.
born
Me
in
too. Me too. Town business.
town business.
Okay. What
Born and
part of
raised
Oakland?
East Oakland,
Me
Brookfield.
too. Okay. I'm
I'm
from the shady 80s.
from the 80s. Yeah, I know about the 80s.
I know
Um,
about Brookfield.
so I was raised in Brookfield, went to school in Oakland, and then went to Berkeley High School. So for high
Okay.
school, that's why I just commuted from there. But grew up, born and raised in Oakland.
Okay, wait. Why did you go to Berkeley? Because normally when you finish in Berkeley, that means you were getting suspended.
When you went to Berkeley, maybe back in the
No,
day,
when
like,
you was in Oakland, I mean, why did you go to Berkeley? We
oh,
got
because
6 high schools in Oakland.
you know where I was living, I was supposed to go to Skyline, but my feeder school, I was supposed to go to Tech because I was
Okay.
going to Claremont. I was going to the magnet school. So my
Okay.
mom had started shipping me from East Oakland over to North Oakland, and then from there I was supposed to go to Tech, but I didn't want to go to Tech. I wanted to go to Berkeley
No?
High. Yeah, a group of us just wanted to go to Berkeley High instead. So it wasn't so much we weren't in trouble at all. Like we just chose to go to Berkeley High. It had, some arts programs, and it was known for, oh, you cool if you go to B High. So that's what it really was for me.
What year
It
did you
was
graduate?
No, I know about like back in the day, it used to be like fights and feuds and race wars and stuff like that before I got there. All that got cleaned up right before I got there.
Girl. Yeah, I went to Oakland High, and the whole time I went to Oakland High, we didn't have water in our swimming pool, but I'm sure Berkeley did.
Oh, wow.
And our rival school was Skyline,
Uh-huh.
and that was that on that. So you grew up in Oakland. How was growing up in Oakland? We know you
Ooh,
ditched the high schools and went to Berkeley.
yeah,
How was it?
going to school in Oakland, it was cool. I mean, you grow up like everybody else. I got teased a lot in school, you
But I
know.
mean, did you come like, are you had parents? Did your grandmother raise you? What was growing up like? Did you?
Okay, so I live with my grandmother. Well, my
Okay.
mom, my grandmother, and my uncle also heavily contributed to raising me as well. But I live with my grandmother and my mom like in my early years, up until
Okay.
like maybe like like right before middle school, like maybe around fourth, fifth grade. We moved away,
Mm,
but we still were in Oakland, and for a minute we went to Concord for a little while, but we always would come back to Brookfield to my grandmother's house because my mom was
okay.
a single
So
mom. So
single parent.
yeah.
Was your dad around at all, or?
My dad was in and out of freedom.
Okay, got it. He was on vacation a lot. There's that. But you got to sound like you got a very solid family, a good
Yeah.
foundation. Your grandma, your uncle. Sounds like how I was raised a little bit, but my dad was around. They
Yeah.
just the parents, but the parentals wasn't, but he was around.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how did acting come about? Were like, because I know like at Oakland High, they had drama classes, theater, we had assemblies and musicals and all that. So tell us about that. How did this happen? Is that why you went to Berkeley High, that they have the theater classes? What happened?
They did have the theater program,
Okay.
but that wasn't why I went. In Oakland, they didn't really have that much arts. Like I did get exposed to arts there, a
Hmm.
little bit of music and a little bit of this, but we didn't have that much when I was going to Brookfield. And I
Really?
Yeah, we didn't have I mean, I played the violin for a little bit in elementary school, and we would do, like, recitals and stuff like that, but
Hmm.
what really started me wanting to do acting was, just being at my grandma's house, watching TV every day. My grandma, old school Black grandmothers, you gonna grow up watching the soaps, The Price is Right, General Hospital, Days of Our Life, those types of things. And so I would watch like I'm dating myself, but Supermarket Sweep and all those kinds of shows. Like these are on reruns because I was really young.
Right,
I'd
right,
be glued to the TV back in the day. They used to say you don't sit too close. And I'd be right up on the
right.
TV. I just knew I wanted to be on TV. And one day they came and made a movie in my neighborhood. Um,
Oh.
and I was around the corner where I wasn't supposed to be, playing in the
Mm.
open field. It was like a lot of land that had
Hmm.
property on it, but it was all demolished, and it was just a field of land right there
Yeah, right.
in my house on Douglas and Hale Avenue where they meet. and a white van pulled up with some people of another flesh tone, and that's not the kind of people that lived in my neighborhood. And I was
Right.
about 6, 7.
Like this, not like this.
Yeah, yeah, different hue. And so they pulled up. They don't come in that neighborhood, so it was kind of like, what are they doing here? And
Exactly.
that's the first thing that came out of my mouth as a 6, 7 year old. Was like, what y'all doing? And this is a long time ago, back when people had thick mustaches and stuff like that. And they said, oh, well, we're going to make a movie. And, a 6-year-old doesn't have the filter to say, oh, maybe this may be inappropriate. I just blurted out, can I be in it? And
Oh, so you knew you was gonna be acting.
I knew. I've known since I was 4 years old, 3 years old. Like, there's nothing, I'm going to get on TV. That was the goal as a child. I didn't even know what acting was. And, before I knew it, they had hired the neighborhood to, do production assistant work, like PA work.
Right.
And then they had hired, some of the kids in the neighborhood to be extras. And I was one of the kids. So I got to take off school for 2 days. And I snuck away from holding while I was on set.
Mm.
That was just me. I was never where I was supposed to be. And I snuck away while I was on set, and I made it to the hot set, which is where they were filming, right? They were in
Okay.
takes, and they were redoing the cameras and the rig, and all that stuff. And they had just renovated a house around the corner, and it was beautiful. Everybody was talking about it in the community. They were like, oh, they did so good on that house. And they had used this house for the movie, and they chipped away all the paint, all the stuff that they had made it all pretty. They took it all apart and made it look really worn down and terrible. And my 6-year-old self stood there, and because I had snuck away, I wasn't supposed to be over there. And I'm
Right.
staring at them, like spray painted, looking old and raggedy. And I was like, I didn't understand, what are they doing? But I just knew in my heart of hearts that this is where I was supposed to be. All the equipment, all the art that they were doing, art.
Already in. You was like, this is me. But what was the movie? Do we know what the movie? Do you remember?
It was a movie about, that mouse company, that big mouse place that they have rides and stuff, and the
You
track.
can say it, right?
Yeah, mouse. Well, I can't say a lot, but it's a movie
Oh, okay.
that a mouse is over, and the mouse is over it, and it's
You can
about
say it's the D word.
some angels.
Okay, got it.
Because I want to date myself.
Date yourself. I mean,
I'm in
you're
Hollywood.
younger than me.
I'm 22.
I
Forever.
Googled you. Your birthday is said December
I'm
12th
trying to
or
get it off. I'm trying to get it off the internet.
1980.
Don't do that. I'm trying
You
to get
look good. You look
it.
16.
People
That's
see you and
all
they
I know.
how old you are. You're gonna make me 50
Hey,
from here on.
hey, get it. Say what?
See how that make you feel? Uh-huh.
What are you talking about? I have no idea.
I don't know.
I
But
celebrate my birthday, not my age.
okay. That's my December 12th. I'm happy about that. I love my birthday. But yeah, that's what.
Your birthday is the day before my mom's.
Yeah,
Sagittarius.
yeah.
Yes. So did you study acting in college? You did go to college, I heard.
Hmm.
I,
Hmm.
I was Googling and doing my research. So you went to college. So after Berkeley, you graduated. The
I went to
Hornets, right? What are y'all? Berkeley, the
Yellow
Hornets,
Jacket. Yellow
Yellow
Jacket.
Jackets, same
Yeah,
thing.
it's a B.
It's a bee. Queen bee. So what happened after graduation? What happened? What did Crystal say? What did you wait first? What did you want to become? Like, I guess at 6 you knew you wanted to act, but maybe by the time you got into high school it was more lawyer, dentist, bus driver. Like
No,
what was you thinking for 12th grade? What did you want to be? Who did you want to become?
I wanted to be a filmmaker and an actress. Still,
Girl, you was born for this.
I was born for this.
That's what it
I
sounds
started.
like.
Yeah, I started taking video production. I got my first video camera in like 8th grade. And then I started
Okay.
taking video production in high school around junior year. But my mom, was heavy into cameras and stuff like that. So I was big. And then I had a great cousin, because my cousin Robert, who had a bunch of cameras and stuff too. So like,
Mhm.
it's just in my family, like to do photography and whatever else. And I took on videography and acting, but it was something that I've always been, my cousin, he was an archivist. So he has like all the family photos. He has like photos I never saw of myself. He had,
Right,
um,
right.
so, and I've become that person. So now if we have a family function, a lot of times you won't see me in pictures because I'm the one taking them as
You
well.
were taking them. Okay.
Yeah.
So in school, were you taking any acting, theater, drama classes along the way to
Okay.
knowing that that's what you wanted to do? Because you said Berkeley had creative things like Oakland didn't. Like, I don't
Hmm.
remember that, but we did when I was in school. But did Berkeley have a play a part of that for you?
Not really. When
No.
I went to school, I went to Brookfield Elementary, and like I said, we did recitals, we did some dancing. I had started dancing in elementary school, so I was doing African dance and whatnot. And
Hmm.
I would go to the EOYDC, which is the East Oakland Youth Development Center.
Hmm. On 82nd, right over there. Hmm.
And then, so that exposed me to like other art forms, like,
Okay.
ceramics and
Hmm.
stuff. And then when I went to middle school, we got exposure to choir for a little stint. And Lettucey was like our choir director for like one day. And
The Lettucey.
yeah,
Because she's from Oakland by way of New Orleans. But yeah, we
yeah,
claim her. We claim Letty.
yeah. And she was so strict. She was there for one day. It was an after school program, but we got exposure to, different arts and stuff like that, but they didn't have theater. And so by the time I got to high school and theater came up, I was intimidated because the theater world and acting world, people can be very snobbish sometimes and very like elitist. And so I had, I'd go to the class, and maybe like junior year, I started taking theater, and you could be at any level at this point. But all the kids in there, it was intimidating because I didn't have that background. They'd be like, I've been taking
Hmm.
Shakespeare camp since I was
Right,
7.
right,
And
right,
I'm like, okay. And I didn't, I'm from East Oakland. I need
right.
to, I need to
And
really expound upon that. Like, I'm from East Oakland. Like, I grew up eating hot Cheetos. I grew up eating, taking $1 and making a meal out of with a little
right.
juice box, some now later.
Chasing white people down the street.
No, I didn't say so.
What you doing with that camera? What are y'all doing here?
I did not partake. but
Girl.
those were the things I was exposed to. This is, when I grew up, it was still the opioid epidemic, if you will, because I know we can't use certain words, but the opioid epidemic was still running rampant. And so people were still
The
walking down
little
the street.
white rocks. You talking about the little
Yeah,
white rocks they
yeah,
were
people
selling?
were tweaking, those types of words that we
Uh-huh.
used to use back in the day. So I didn't have as much exposure to theater and everything. I didn't speak as eloquently as I speak now. I was
Mhm.
I was a little girl from East Oakland. And
Right.
I used to have to fight off boys every day. Not because, they were being inappropriate in a romantic way, but inappropriate in a physical way. I used to have to beat them up in the face.
Exactly. All my fights were with boys. All of
Yeah,
it. I have never fought a woman, a girl.
yeah. And so
So yeah, growing
as
up in Oakland, yeah,
as
I
ladylike
know
and eloquent as I am now, like I had to rough it out
we
and do
have
stuff.
survived some things.
I had to survive
Okay.
in East Oakland.
Right.
So,
So
I
how
had
has the journey been so far? Like the resume I just read off, you've done commercials,
mhm.
TV shows. Now you're in the movie theater. I mean, we know it was more than a blink, Crystal.
Oh yeah.
I didn't count, but it was it you was just retching all over the screen. We'll get to that. I was like, what? And I know that, we'll get into that. So
Yeah.
how has the journey been so far? You got some stuff under your belt. How do you
Yeah.
feel about yourself now? This journey you're on. First of all, talk about how it started. We didn't cover that. So you
Okay.
school, this. Well, how did we decide I'm packing up, I'm going to LA?
Mhm. So,
Hmm.
initially when I went off to college, I had come out here to LA to go to the Art Institute,
Okay.
and study of video production. Because again, in high school, I did video production for 2 years, so I had become pretty good at it and pretty passionate about it. And
Hmm.
I figured taking video production would teach me the behind the scenes so that I could be better in front of the camera. I didn't think I needed to go train to be an actor or anything like that. I was just supposed to be naturally good. And I got here,
Well, yeah.
I spent about a year here, and then I ended up dropping out of school, and I went here, there, and everywhere, and I ended up finishing at San Jose State at the end.
Okay.
Once
Okay.
I
Now,
once
how old are we after how long, how many years did that take to complete at San Jose? How old are we? How many years? 6 years of
no,
college? And
I spent one extra year, so I did 5 years
okay.
of
So
undergrad.
5 years. And
Yeah.
you're still like, I'm on a mission to Hollywood. Go ahead, girl.
Yes. So I left LA because also
Hmm.
when I was here, LA was a different place. It was very misogynistic, and the whole Me Too movement hadn't occurred yet. So
Okay.
and I was young. I was 18. I had never left home before, and I'm getting offered opioids at every turn, the white stuff at every turn. Um and
Not
I'm getting
the
offered
white horse. We can call it the white horse, the song. White
the
horse.
white horse, yeah, and then I'm also getting offered to do corn, if you will. So all those things were coming
Oh, the
my way.
P word.
Yeah,
Corn with a P. Okay.
yeah,
Girl.
mhm,
Really?
yeah.
They say LA is a strange place.
You have to
Ah,
have first of all, you have to be prayed up, and you have to really be able to hold yourself down. That was why I left, because
mhm.
I was like, I'm never coming back. I don't like it here.
It's a
I
lot.
It
It's
was
a
a
lot.
lot. I was 18 and by myself, and I struggled so badly. I mean, it was there's so many stories I could go into, but um when it comes to those types of things, it was rampant at the time. The
But as you were struggling, did you still kind of know in the back of your mind, this is just a part of the story and I'm gonna get there. It's just this ain't it. Cause
Yeah.
I need to more foundation. I need to land, plant my feet more solid, maybe.
Mhm.
Okay, so you left. Where did you go when you left LA? Did you go back to Oakland?
I came back to Oakland for a little bit, and
Okay.
then I went to Texas, and then I came
Mhm.
back to Oakland.
Okay, so Texas. How did you get from Oakland to Texas?
I was trying to, it was a rough time. Like, I don't even get too personal, but like it was a rough time in my teens. So,
Okay.
when you're
Hmm.
trying to run away from stuff,
Right.
I was running away from something, and
Hmm.
my way of running away was moving across state lines to have full
Right.
autonomy of my life and making my own decisions. And
Hmm.
even if that meant falling on my face and failing consistently, I still got somewhere. And
Hmm.
I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, in one regard, like, yeah, I would change that. But at the same time, like, it gave me a lot of experience, a lot of life experience that I have.
And that's character building for
Mhm.
you.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I was,
Hmm.
I did a little stint at a small college in Texas, and then I came back home. And then I did community college, and then I ended up at San Jose. So I was determined to finish college. That was one thing for sure. Like, at no point in time did I say, "Oh, I'm dropping out of school." Like, my credits were crazy. My transcript was all over the place, but baby girl
What
finished.
What did you major in? Everything? What did you major in?
I finished in film and TV, radio, TV,
So
film.
that's your major.
That was my major.
Do you have a minor too?
My minor was African American Studies.
Very good.
Mhm.
I just take it that you were born for this. I'm just like,
This
no,
is my
like you
hobby.
like 6 years old. I'm outside. What are y'all doing with that camera? And you
Yeah,
just kept going.
literally,
Okay.
what y'all doing? And that was the rest was history. I was sold ever since. And when I got to San Jose, I worked on some music videos. I worked on this and
With
that.
who? Master P.
No, it was just
Okay.
some artists at the time. We made some film style music videos for them. So I learned like how to do everything behind the scenes.
Okay.
And I also I went and got my master's degree. Now, when I got my master's degree in Florida, um,
Mhm.
that's when I started to do like a little bit of acting because I was dating someone who was
Mhm.
like adamant about being an actor, and he was like more
Okay.
forthcoming about it. He put out the work. He had a brother there who was a film major, and he was putting him in
Mm.
his projects. And so he did a movie once, and I was able to do background work for it, like be an extra in that movie. And
Okay.
that kind of catapulted me into like starting to put my foot forward. We ended up moving to Texas together. We were young. We ended up moving back to Texas together after grad school, and he had gotten an agent immediately. He was a handsome guy, so he got let in just based off of his looks alone.
He got you, so he could grab an agent, honey.
you know. And
No.
so
Did you meet him in? Did you meet him in Florida when you went to get your master's?
no, I actually that little stint I did in Texas, that one semester I spent at the
Okay.
law school,
Hmm.
I met him then. We were
Okay.
friends. We remained friends for years, and then we didn't start dating until my right when I graduated undergrad.
Okay. So when you went to Florida, what was the goal and what did you accomplish there? You went to get
Oh
a
my
master's. So what is that in? More film?
Entertainment business.
Girl, you better. Huh. Okay. Working
And
on the plan A and the plan B all at the same time.
yeah,
I
it was
see you,
again,
Chris. I see you.
it was to like just give myself an edge, like to just know what
Yes.
how the business operated. But because I didn't have people telling me, like I knew a lot of people, but no one was like giving me information. And so I was like, let me go to school and learn. I thought school was like the answer to everything. Like, oh, if I
Got
want to
it.
build furniture, I
Hmm.
need to go to school to be
Yeah.
this and that. And so um in Florida, you asked me what did I study? I studied entertainment business, and
Okay.
you asked me something else.
Well, how long did that take? Just like 2 years and
Oh, it was a 1 year intensive. So I was there for
okay.
like 13 months, and it was a
Okay.
program. I learned everything that I could about, entertainment business. And it's like,
Hmm.
the business is ever evolving. What I learned back then has changed since then. Some of it,
Okay.
um,
So Florida, you went to Texas with the boyfriend.
I did.
So was you doing any work? Were you okay? We love to love, but were we taking care of business with our acting? Were you doing any acting? What? Because I'm thinking Texas. I don't. Is there a Hollywood in Texas? Are we?
There is a small industry,
Very small.
Texas,
Okay.
very small industry in Texas. And he had gotten signed to the agent, and I had tried to sign to the agent. I did his headshots, and his brother did headshots because again, I do photography. So we did some like starter headshots for him. He submitted them. He got accepted immediately. I submitted mine, and they were like, "Nope." And I was like,
Misogynistic still.
"Well, this is Texas, and it's some time had passed." And so they were like, "Oh no, we're not looking for your type right now." And I tried to get in doing voiceover. So I sent them a disc with my like samples and everything because I did radio as well. So I had
Mhm.
a lot of samples from doing PSAs and commercials on the radio. And they were like, we're not looking for this, but at least they were gracious enough to give me feedback. Some time had passed, and bless his heart, he had made a comment. I'll never forget he said this. He was like, I was like, "You don't never support me and what I'm trying to do." And he said, "Well, sweetheart, if you had something support, maybe I would." And I was like,
Is this the boyfriend?
yeah. But it wasn't, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that." But at the same time, it was just what I needed because I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't doing enough. He had started taking classes and stuff, and he was really going in on his thing. And
Mhm.
I kept submitting to the agent. The agent kept telling me no. And so I ended up enrolling in classes, a different teacher. I started with one and I went to someone else, like the best one in the city. And I started training with him. His name is Deke Anderson. And I think it was Next Level Acting Studios,
Mhm.
Houston. And I learned what I needed to learn within that year, and I become pretty good at what I was doing, and I enjoyed it a lot. Like I really, really enjoyed it. He never came to my studio to train with me, but I had gotten to the point where my acting coach, he was like, "Who's not represented?" I'm like, "I want to be represented. I don't have an agent." Da 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 da. He was like, excuse me. He was like, "Really, you don't have an agent?" I was like, "Yeah, I keep trying to submit to this agency, but they don't. They keep telling me no." He was
Now
like,
wait a minute. Let me stop. where did the acting coach come in? Like, when did you know? Because along your journey, I'm hearing education, right? Now
Mhm.
you're here in Texas, so
Mhm.
why do you? Is an acting coach like automatic? Is that just something you're supposed to have, or how did you know to get one? Like, where does that? How did that come into play?
So the feedback, one of the feedback turn down letters that I got for the agent was, no, we're not looking for your type right now. Then the next time they sent me, they said, oh, we're not looking for voiceover actors. And then the third time they said, oh, well, you need more training.
Okay,
And so
and
when they,
that means acting coach.
yes, get training, because I didn't have
Okay,
any footage. I didn't have a reel or clips or anything to send to them. So I just had my headshot and I had a, pretty blank resume. And
okay.
so I went and took the classes. I did what I was supposed to do. I did it for about a year, a little over a year. And then he was like, "Oh, you don't have an agent? Like, what's wrong with you?" kind of thing. And I was like, "Yeah, they keep telling me no." And by then I had started already doing like some short film projects in Houston, some web
Okay.
series, and kind of getting to know the people in the community, the film industry there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and attending events and networking and just getting my name and face out there. And at one point, I had did I do this before? Yes, I think that my timeline might be a little off, but at one point I was auditioning for student films. So people who are in college who are in film school, they have to do like a thesis project. I had to do one myself. And when you do the thesis projects, you have to, do some casting, you film the project together with your crew and your castmates and your team. And so they encourage actors who don't have a lot of experience to go and do those projects because it gives you experience. And then if you're lucky, you'll get the footage. And so I did a student film. I auditioned for a student film at the Art Institute in Houston at the time. And it was like a commercial for Colgate. It was like a spec commercial. When they say spec, they usually mean just like a fake commercial. But it's
Mm-hmm.
their take on it so that they can try it out. Let me see if I can make a commercial like Doritos, if I can make a commercial like Colgate,
Okay.
practice my skills. And so they
Mhm.
cast for that. And I came to the audition and they ended up liking me. And this is what you call booking the room. So I came to the audition. The producer liked me so much. She was like, you are not right for this project, but I'm going to keep your stuff on file. That's what you call booking the room. When you make an impression that you may not be the right fit, but they're going to keep you on for something else.
Okay.
But you hear
Getting
that
our foot in the door.
yeah, you get a foot in the door, but in this industry, you hear that kind of stuff all the time. So I kind of took
Okay, so you gotta keep going.
yeah, I was just like, oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. And I left.
Man.
And lo and behold, a few months later, she reached back out to me and she contacted me. She was like, hey, I want you to be my Foxy, which was the lead on Two Psychos. I didn't have to audition. She just called
No?
me, like, let's go do the table read, yada, yada, yada. And the rest is history. And that was my first time leading, but I was made for this. No, but seriously,
You
like,
were. She knew it.
and I did a great job on that project. We ended up screening it in Houston
Hmm.
for like all the student films, did a big screening at the Dine-In Pearland movie theater. I forget what the name of it, but it was a big event. I invited all my coworkers and a lot of people in the film scene there came. And that's what kind of put me on in Houston. Everybody saw
Okay.
that. It was probably the best movie in the lineup of the night. And people came, I was like, oh, I just want to meet you. I want to talk to you. I want to work with you. And I was kind of like gave everybody a buzz about my name in Houston. So when my acting coach heard that I didn't have an agent, he was like,
Mhm.
give me your stuff. I'll submit. And I sent him my stuff. And then he said, submit it to them. But before I knew it, they had contacted me that next morning. Like he submitted my stuff for me and they like were like, hey, Crystal, we'd love to have you come in for a meeting. And then I came in for the meeting and we signed on the spot. And so I've been with them now. I still have my agent in Houston, my first agent,
Oh,
um,
really?
Pastor
Okay.
Bosby Talent. I've been with them now for about 8 years, something like that.
How
It's
long
been
have
like,
you been in the industry? Has it been the 8 years, I'm guessing? This has been 8 years.
well, it's been
Your
longer than
career?
that. It's been about 15 years of like actually doing stuff. But
Okay.
I mean, if you want to and count my childhood, that doesn't really count to me. But I've been around it for a long time. But as far as like actually being on set and being, you know, considered a talent, about 15 years, and more seriously, the last since 2012. So what is this? What's this? 20, so 13 years.
2025.
Yeah, because I had a short that I did, I know a feature that I did called it was, what was it called? It's, you have the paper.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me
It was
tell.
um I played
What
a
is? Oh
teacher.
wait, you played who?
I played a teacher on that. It was one of the, it's probably at
Oh
the
wait,
bottom of the film list.
is it called June? Walk by Faith.
Walk by Faith.
Worthy. Was that it?
Yeah, so Walk by Faith I shot in 2012. And
Oh wow, that was a
they
while
still,
ago.
oh yeah, it's a long time ago. And they still didn't hit me up. Like they still didn't let me into the agency. So having an agent just basically says like, okay, this person is represented. This person we trust to come in and be a professional on a shoot, excuse me, on a
Hmm.
set.
Hmm.
And you can, you know, you can trust that this person's going to be professional and they're going to do the job, yada, yada, yada. And so, even with having that movie on my resume and the footage from that, it wasn't enough at the time. And I'm grateful for the rejection because it just gives you skin in the game because it's not really rejection, it's just teaching you how this is done. I just signed with an agent last week, a new agent, a bigger agent last week out here in LA.
Clap, 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 clap,
Clap,
clap,
clap,
clap.
thank you. But again, I had submitted to them several times and it was like crickets. So, you know, I've learned to accept
The
rejection.
crickets. The
Yeah, because
crickets.
it's a part of the nature. When you audition for stuff, you're not going to hear back. That you don't
Okay,
know.
so let me ask. You
Uh-huh.
mentioned getting a coach. How
Hmm.
do you know this is the right coach? Do you screen their resume? Have they acted in movies? And like, what is their background?
Yeah. So you should always screen. You should always do your own research and homework on whoever
Okay.
you pay for a service, such as
Hmm.
teaching me how to act or teaching me how to do self tapes or whatever it is. I definitely, you know, I got a master's in entertainment business, so most of that is research. So I
Right.
definitely did
Okay.
some digging.
So now you're putting the degrees to work.
Oh
And
yes,
then you got your
absolutely.
agency. Was at a refer? Did he refer you there, or did you do your research?
So
So that,
he's also on the roster for the agency, so he works with them as well. So when he books work, they'll submit him for things in the local area. So he has a really good relationship, and he's the top acting coach in the city. So most of the stuff you hear is like word of mouth. Even
hmm.
today, you can't rely on the internet. The word of mouth, like in business, whether it's a nail tech, hairstylist, whatever, you go based
Hmm.
off of word of mouth. So when you hear about
Right.
who's good, like who I'm gonna need a coach. Who do I need? I kept hearing Deke. Deke's name came up a lot.
Okay.
Deke's
Word
name
of mouth.
standard. He
Hmm.
was the standard for like who you want to train with for, you know, uh, I don't know, acting techniques or audition techniques. So whatever that was, I was like, okay, I want to
Hmm.
go train with Deke. I got into his, you know, intro. I don't know if I took the intro, but just his Monday night class and Tuesday
Okay.
classes and stuff. And I took them religiously for a little over a year, and it, you know, it was great, and I learned so much, and for that market, I really learned how to work, you know, within with what was there. And so, yeah, having a coach, it's all word of mouth. Having the agency is also a word of mouth situation too. Because let me tell you, if I end a relationship with someone or somebody ends a relationship with somebody, first thing they do is they call me, we call each other, you know, hey, is this person good? Oh, your son,
Okay. Right.
you're
Right.
you're with Mentos agency, like how are they? And you know, you find your friends who's on the roster, and if you don't know anybody, you vet them out. And I've vetted out
Right.
people I didn't know, and I had to stop because not everybody is the same. Because I've
Hmm.
former managers and whatnot, I've called people on their roster and was like, hey, how is this person? And they're like, oh, he's great, but then you didn't do research, Crystal, because that person's never worked. And they tell me he's great, but they've never worked.
Doing what? Right.
Like, and
Well,
so yeah, you live and you learn. You get a few bruises along the way.
right. Let's dive into the movie No
Yes.
Address. Ah, it was awesome.
Aw,
I did not cry. Can you believe that? I almost cried twice.
really?
This movie. Very thought provoking, dynamic, I must say. Are you proud to be a part of something so meaningful and today? And it's, just wow. It was just, I think everybody at the end, when it was over, we were all just, they had like a Q&A, talking after that. And we just always just sitting there like, wow.
Wow.
um, I got other questions about you, but let's get into the movie because
Yeah.
oh my God, it was so good. So let's talk about your role.
Okay.
You always keep talking about this tiny role. Since we're talking about where you had a small, I'll tell the besties. She had a very small role. She told us that her part got cut out, and we'll talk about. You'll tell us that happens in Hollywood.
Hmm.
But we did get to see her on the screen. She was in the credits at the end. I don't know why did they give you a name?
Well,
Anybody call your
initially
name?
I had a part. I had an
But you
actual
didn't need a
part.
name. You could have been the lady that retched all over the place. No, you
That
needed
was
a
my
name.
character's name because when they make movies, they have the characters etched out, and also it could be
Okay.
contractual too. So contractually, they might have had to keep it because that's what I was compensated for the
Okay.
character.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure. But I think that's one of the reasons why. Um, but how that came about. So thank you for going to see the movie and supporting it. Thank you
Most
so much.
definitely.
I'm glad.
You're welcome. I
I'm
saw it
glad
on
you.
Tuesday. It was just so touching. It was necessary. It just helps us, privileged, understand the various pathways to homelessness. Like it can
Mhm,
happen. They didn't ask, they didn't request, that wasn't a dream of theirs,
mhm. Yeah, I
just the
think.
mirroring of different ways you can end up homeless was just like, wow. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Yeah.
it.
I'm glad
Ashanti was in the movie.
it
I
was.
didn't even know that.
That's funny.
I didn't even know Ashanti. They don't promote it for her. They don't pull her name for it at all. So I didn't know. But let's talk about it. Tell us what you want, and let's talk about it. It
Okay,
was
so I'm glad you enjoyed it. I've seen it now 4 times in the last 2 weeks.
okay. Do you
Um,
see something different every time you see it?
and
You
so,
know how
yes, to answer
okay.
that, every time I've watched it, I've seen something new.
Okay.
And, I've never wanted to watch any movie 4 times in a row, but it was necessary. We had the screening here in LA. I mean, the big premiere in LA, and then we had a screening in Sacramento where we shot the movie. And then I saw it with some friends here in LA.
Wait. Let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop. Pause real quick. So when I'm watching the movie, right, I'm like, where is this?
Uh-huh.
I knew it was California eventually with the neighborhoods, but it took so long to cover like that it was in Sacramento. And the bridge was not a giveaway. I went with my goddaughter. She thought it was Stockton because they do have a similar bridge like that.
Mhm.
So when the tow truck showed up to tow the BMW, I was like, let me look on the door. And then I saw 916 Roseville. And I'm like, okay, goodness, it took so long to get there. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That was one thing that was driving me nuts.
that's so funny. Yeah,
Okay, so it was in Sacramento.
we shot 2 years well, we started, principal photography back in early 2023, February 2023. So
Mhm.
it's been a 2-year process to get this movie on to, the theaters. It was supposed to come out a long time ago, and then last year they ended up doing some more principal photography, on the
Mhm.
and so that also allowed some other friends of mine to be in the film.
Okay,
Uh,
why did they pick Sacramento? Why was that city so? Why was it
I'm
picked?
not I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why they
Okay,
picked Sacramento, and I don't wanna assume. I think maybe they have an office there. I'm not the production, office may be there, but I'm
okay.
not 100% sure, but I do know, they wrapped up principal photography last year after a year, and when you're dealing with movies of different budgets, and this was a smaller budget film, you're not able to, sometimes you might run out of funds and you might have to raise more funds or things happen
Right.
because in that time Ashanti had gotten married and had a baby and all these different things as well, which I don't think that hindered the production, but it's definitely, something to note because they're using a lot of star power to drive the film as well. So you have Beverly D'Angelo, Xander Berkeley, Lucas Jade, Newman, and all these people. I think I just said his name. I think it's Newman. Sorry, I said his name wrong. But you have all these people who've done things and are,
Okay.
popular in their own right. But my process of the movie, I mean, I really, you asked me how did I feel about the movie, or what was that like being a part of this movie? And
Yeah, like
I haven't like I'm just now starting to kind of process it. The more people say things to me, then I'm like, oh
okay.
yeah, I am in a movie. I am in the theaters. I am, but it's not about me, the movie itself. It's not about me. It's really about the story and the characters and
Okay, let's dive into the story because it was
yeah.
just awesome. So it mirrored like six different lifestyles.
Mhm.
Like we had a guy who was being mistreated by a stepfather. He ran
Mhm.
away. We had a war vet. We had um, mental illness. That was the mother. The mother. We had the um, I can't say the A. The A. What's the A word? The word where you are attracted to something that you shouldn't be, and it causes, Um, oh goodness, YouTube. You get on my nerves sometimes.
The
Um, attracted to something bad. I guess I'll say.
hooked
Then you
on,
have mental illness, huh?
hooked on.
Hooked on stuff. That's good. Then you had an orphan. Then you
Mhm.
had a working class man, white man, had the wife, the kid, the house, the BMW, but he had a gambling problem. And it
Mhm.
was so bad that it caused him to make bad decisions.
Mhm.
And it was just like, okay. And it ended everyone in homelessness. And
Mhm.
Ashanti played the one who was attracted to bad things. And what did you call it?
Hooked on
Hooked on stuff. Hooked
opioid.
on the substance. She was hooked on substance. I can say
Yeah.
substance. And it's like the five of these people formed a way of surviving and in this encampment, and they were resilient nonetheless. They had to fight criminals. you know, they had to fight the system that was trying to move them out and push them out. They had, getting beat up and getting robbed, and girl, it was just so much. And they just were family and
Mhm.
looked out for each other and cared for each other. And I saw like the sign and on the fence, it said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." Matthew's 22:39.
Mhm.
And just all their circumstances has brought them together. And
Yeah.
we realize that they are real people, just like us. They deserve love and respect and grace. They
Yeah.
have dreams and hopes, and they need compassion.
Mhm.
And it's just like they're more resilient than us because they are making ways out of no ways. As you hear old people say, I made a way out of no way. And
Right.
that's what they showed us.
Absolutely.
Like
I
when Ashanti came home back all high, and he
think
was like, "No, no, 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 because I've been clean 5 years. You don't get to do that here. I'm not gonna watch you unalive yourself."
mhm.
Oh my gosh! And she got herself together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there's you. You're laid out there in the encampment. You OD'd.
Yeah.
Ambulance is all around you. You got on these flip flops. Was that a fat suit? Because those are not your feet. You don't look like those are your feet. You look pretty big,
You know what?
and you just wretched all over the place. Just
They say they say the camera adds 10 to 15 pounds. I
girl,
I was big at the time, like, I've lost about 20 pounds since last year,
good for you.
but they did have me in a big coat, and I
Yeah.
had on 2 pair like, I had on, a shirt and another shirt and pants, so those was my big old thighs for sure, but my feet, if they were fat, it was because they were fat and swollen. I don't know, they had me in
That
these
wasn't makeup? Come on now.
no,
Put your foot
the
on the screen right now.
the inflammation
It
on my
was not
feet,
your
no.
foot,
No, the dirt and all that stuff was makeup.
but it was fat and just swollen and had on them little old navy flip flops.
They gave me
Girl.
all that stuff and put dirt on all that stuff.
Oh
So it
gosh.
was it was funny. But
How
my
long did your scene take? Because I know even something that small probably took 20 hours.
no, it was
No?
a couple hours. I mean, just
Mm,
the actual shooting of it, excuse me, the
mm,
actual filming of it was
mm.
um like maybe maybe spend an hour on that, maybe 90 minutes, but 90 minutes to an hour just to record that scene. But
Okay.
the well, I did 2 days of filming. So the one day was we never saw it. Like you saw me. There's actually when the movie first starts, I'm in the background, like fixing up my tent and stuff. And
Okay.
there's a scene where when they first introduce what's the girl's name? Jade or whatever. Not Jade. No. They introduced the little girl, the orphan girl, the girl
Hmm.
who loses her home to her foster parent. She
Yes.
introduced to the camp. He brings her into the camp, and when he brings her in, he's introducing her to everybody. And I come over to get some food from them, and I sit down, and there's a poster with me on the poster, sitting at the table with them. But that whole thing got cut, and they were able to edit around it in a way to
Okay.
tell the story. And sometimes, like you said, I think that happens, and it's like, oh man, it sucks. But at the same time, it's the nature of the beast that we're a part of.
You were
And
still a part of a great film.
yeah, and you can't be upset about it or too hurt. It
Yes.
happens. And it's until you get a more significant part, and it's all significant, but until you get a bigger part, it's gonna be, a gamble of whether or not you're gonna be in the final cut or not. Because I was just glad to know I didn't take cut out of the entire movie. Because I was waiting. I was like, okay, I should be walking up right now. I should be walking up. I should be walking in right here. That's my line comes next. I should be walking in. And then it was just like cut. And I was like, okay, okay. They gonna have
Hey,
the next one. But when
the
I saw that
next time
halfway,
you're going to be the main actress. You're going to be the main. You're going to get it. Trust me. You
I
already know.
received, I
You
received
already know.
yeah, but it was very moving and thought provoking, I will say, and just seeing how people treated me at that time, even like, seeing me with the teeth. I don't know if you can see that picture in the background. Me with the dirt painted on my teeth and my hair
Yeah.
looked the way that it looked. Like even people on set didn't know whether or not I was a real person or an actor in costume.
Oh.
And some people were like, oh, when they saw me, especially when I opened my mouth.
Was it heavy to? Was that heavy?
It felt like you had dirt on you, like literally, how when
Uncomfortable.
you need to brush your teeth and like ooh, I could taste the dirt on my teeth and you need to
Mm.
brush it off. That's what that felt like on my teeth. It just felt like
Well,
cud
you
or
did a good job.
something.
You did a good job.
It was real though. It was real reaction. It wasn't real vomit, but it was a real reaction because they kept putting Alka-Seltzer tablets in my mouth with orange juice. And
Is that
whenever
what you were earling out?
yeah, so whenever, Alka-Seltzer touches liquid, it foams. And
Yes.
so automatically I'm laying on the ground. It had been wet and rainy. It stinks out there because it was kind of like a real encampment. They just
Was it?
yeah,
And it was really raining?
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
And you out there with no socks on?
no socks on. It was freezing too. It was really cold because it was February in Sacramento. It was really, really cold.
Oh
And so
no.
I was laying down and they give me the Narcan or the naloxone, which is an overdose reversal drug. And they give it to me and I respond to it. But before that, before every take, they kept giving me the Alka-Seltzer tablets. So I'm in real life drooling. But I'm in character. I
It's a
can't I'm
part of you.
yeah, and
And
so
what
I'm
was your character name again?
JC.
Hey JC.
Hey.
You gotta add that to your resume.
Oh, yeah, it's on my resume for sure. But, yes,
Wow.
I was actually drooling in real life because it was coming out of my mouth, and, like, I couldn't it was just foaming up, and I couldn't hold it in, so when they yelled "action," and then they did the thing where they pretended like they were putting the substance in my nose to revive me, I waited a half a second because that's how it's supposed to go in real life, and then I and then, they
So how
wanted
many Alka-Seltzers were in your mouth? Was it more than one?
just one. Actually, I think it was just like a half of a tablet,
And then a whole bunch of orange juice?
just a little bit of orange juice. It was like real
I mean,
saliva
but when you bleh, it just
because it was had been set. You know how when you
foaming in your mouth, just sitting in there, just
It had
hold
been
it.
sitting in there festering, and it was just like growing and growing like that in my own saliva.
Oh, okay. Well, you did good job,
Yeah.
Chris. I
When that
was
part
like,
came on, theater,
ew. Oh
everybody in the theater
goodness.
went, "Ugh." Yeah, really gross.
So,
And it tastes
anything else you want to talk about with this movie? It was great. Everyone, please go see No Address. I
yes,
even
go
like the title. I'm a title girl. That
yeah,
was awesome. And
yeah,
it's in theaters now. How long
yes,
will it be in? We don't know, but go see it. And what
yeah.
I did like, so I went on Tuesdays when movies are $5 or $6. So he was like 12.50, and I'm treating my goddaughter, so it's like 12, 25, $25. And I was like, excuse me, isn't it $5 Tuesday? And he was like, oh no, this movie, no, we have to charge the regular. So what I learned at the end of the movie is half of the proceeds go to churches and nonprofits to help with the homelessness crisis. So I was like, let me take my receipt so I can write it off. No, but I'm happy to be a part. Because after you see this movie, you want to just go get a nonprofit, go empty out your refrigerator, put everything in your car, and drive to the encampment and just give it away.
No,
Just
seriously. Seriously, like I've seeing them getting bullied by these community riffraff guys
right.
and taunted. I'm like, they're already homeless. What more do you want? You
Do you
want their
want from
food
them?
stamps?
Right.
You want
Getting an
their
EBT
veteran
card from the vet? Like, really?
like they don't why are you taking from somebody who doesn't even have a home? That's insane to me. So it was that part really got to me. Like just seeing the constant bullying and harassment and then also just
Like
seeing
that.
the lead character, myself having come up as a young lady, seeing the main character be a young woman in the streets, being harassed by
Right.
accosted by men left and right at every turn. It's like, oh yeah, I can do something with you. And it's really a real place, and it's a scary place to be a young girl in the streets. Like even just me going to school in Oakland, I was getting accosted left and right. So I could imagine if I had nowhere to go, how much
Yeah.
crazier that would have been for me.
Mhm.
Scary.
I remember one time I teamed up with a girl and we collected feminine hygiene products for women because what I didn't even realize, even didn't even think about is like homeless women have ministrations, right? And what do they do? And
Yeah.
OMG girl, just I was like, oh, we gotta get them all the things, even socks, underwear, the pad, the tampon, the big ones, the little ones, the pet, all of the stuff. It was like there's something that I never thought about.
Mhm.
Like I like because I don't like I don't think any of us like ours, and we're at home with bathrooms and clothes. And can you imagine?
No, it crossed my mind too. I was like, "Goodness, what would I do if I didn't have anything to for that time of the month?" It's just insane.
Girl, it is
Sad.
insane. And they were family, so
Yeah.
at least they did have that social worker lady that made sure of things for them. She had their back. So that
Gabriella.
was good. Huh?
Gabriella.
So wait, did you meet Ashanti?
I did meet
Is
a
that your friend? Do you have her number in your phone?
No, I don't have her number. I did meet Ashanti. I met her mother.
Oh
She was
yeah.
very sweet, very, very sweet. We had that
Uh-huh.
scene where the scene that I was in, Ashanti was also in. She's reacting to me,
Right.
because she had the same issue of
Right.
utilizing substances. So to see me just made her rethink her decisions, and the choices that she had been making.
Okay,
But
because
in that
for a minute there, I thought you guys were friends. So like when you were laying there, I thought she was gonna come run to you and like JC, JC, because I
oh
thought that's kind of, yeah.
Well, I mean, in the movie, we're all family in the community that in our encampment. So yeah, I mean, essentially we're all family. So yeah, we knew each other
So
in the
did you pass away? I don't remember.
No, I did not
Okay.
pass away.
They got you,
They
they
woke me
revived
up.
you. Okay.
Yeah, we walked out of the movie. I mean, out of this scene and everything, but they cut all that out.
Okay, but
They
that
cut
helped Ashanti's role get it together.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, for sure. And because it's
Okay.
like it's because somebody had just died in the encampment. I don't know if you
Someone
remember
passed away.
Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
passed away when he said, "Oh, he's giving out the food to everybody," and he says, Billy Bob or whatever his name was, he
Mm-hmm.
didn't make it, and so
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of things happen too. Because it's like also you have all these people who they grow to be family, and then someone passes away or gets hit by a car or whatever the case may be. It's like all these different factors, and you've become attached to this person. This person has been your rock. They've had your back when ruffians do come into the camp. They're fighting them off, warding them off from for your safety and
Headbutting. The war vet just kept headbutting everybody. I was like, he gonna die of brain. He
he's so
headbutt one more person.
he's so funny. That's Xander Berkeley. He was a really sweet guy. He's done so many movies over the years, through
Really?
the 70s and 80s. Yeah, he's always the guy who's getting KIL'd in a
Okay.
lot of movies.
Unalived. Uh-huh.
Alive. Yeah,
Goodness.
he was in the Terminator, and I don't know if you remember which one this was, but he's on the phone, and the Terminator's like jabs a thing
Really?
phone, and he does this whole like he did a lot.
Oh,
There's a reel on YouTube. There's a video on YouTube. Some fan created. He had like 142 kills or unalivements or whatever. Like
goodness
every
gracious.
movie he's done, he's gotten unalived. So
He doesn't walk away. It
but
doesn't
he has made a
end well
career
for
out of
him.
it. He has made a career out of it, and he was wonderful. He gave me some great advice, told me to just keep going, and everything's gonna work out. Like he was very supportive. Everybody was really, really nice. I can
That's
say
good.
that. Her mother
That's
was really
good.
sweet. She was like, "You did a good job." I was like, "Thank you." Yeah.
Good. So another question I would like to know, who do you admire in the industry that you're in?
Oh
Like
my
who
goodness.
do you just like, yes, I want to be not like I want to be like her, but I admire she's inspiration. He or she is inspiration or they
Yeah.
inspiration.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many people that have the career that you would love to have, or they've paved a way for you. One of the younger ones, because people don't really acknowledge the younger actors that really make an impression. I'll say for sure, I admire Dominique Fishback. Um, she was in the Judas and the Black Messiah movie. She was the wife in that.
What's
Um,
her name? Diamond
Dominique Fishback.
Dominique. Okay.
Yeah, she's been in quite a few movies. She's done quite a few movies. I don't know why Judas and the Black Messiah is the first one to pop up and the only one at the moment, but she's done quite a few movies, and every time she works, she's just brilliant. And
Mhm.
Danielle Deadweiler, she's new to like fame, but she's been around for a little while, and she was in The Harder They Fall, and she was also in
Okay.
the new Piano Lesson movie. Have you seen the Piano Lesson yet? No? Okay. Well, she's in the
Wait,
Piano
I
Lesson.
heard of it.
Okay, I think it's
That
on
account.
Netflix. It's on Netflix, and she also has a scary
Wait,
movie.
the piano is that August? One of August's?
Yeah, August Wilson's,
Okay,
play
I've
their
seen the
adaptation.
play. I've
Yeah,
seen the play.
she's
Okay.
in the movie adaptation with Denzel's family.
Okay.
So, and she's playing the sister or whatever the case may be, but
Okay.
her, Journey Smollett, um,
Okay. I know who that is.
yeah, Regina King.
Yes.
I love Regina King's body of work. I love her.
Oh, good. Okay.
So
Brenda from 227.
yeah, she's been around for so long, and she has such a long standing career, but like her characters have changed over time. If you notice, like, she did 227 as a child actor, but then she was in Boys in the Hood, and then she was in, Stella Got Her Groove Back, Ray, all these different movies, and she's just so amazing to me. Of course, Angela Bassett, of course, Viola, of course, like all those big names, of course, but there's other people like Shantae Adams. She's a newer actress. Love her body of work. Kiki Lane, love her body of work. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
Tiana Paris, like she's the Marvel. She's in the Marvel, the black girl in the Marvel film.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, just so many people who are just like really, really great to me. And
Good.
I mean, when you talk about women,
Yeah, you
that
didn't mention any men.
I mean, there's a ton of men. There's Lakeith Stanfield. There's
Oh,
I
yes.
Yeah, I have a list on my phone.
Okay.
There's also Lupita Nyong'o, like, but
Yes.
Jonathan Majors, that guy is so talented. It's creepy. He is so talented to me. I can't wait to see Magazine Dreams. I think, yeah, Magazine Dreams that's coming out. I should have
Mhm.
went to a screening and I missed it. But
Okay.
Jonathan Majors, stupid, just stupidly talented. Like that's the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
Um, Lakeith Stanfield, Brian Tyree Henry. I'm reading off of a list. Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I've met him before.
yeah.
He's
Kelvin
good.
Harrison. I love
Hmm.
Kelvin Harrison.
Hmm.
He's so talented to me, and I can't wait to see what he does. And Yolande Noel. I'm a huge fan of Yolande Noel. He's going to be in the new Yay movie. He's portraying Kanye, and it's getting some backlash. But like, he's
Somebody got to do it.
Kanye
Hey.
needs a movie. Come on, like
Right.
every
So today, wait. So what celebrity have you met that has poured into you? I know we admire, but who have you? I know you done bumped into a few.
I
I know you
mean,
have. I think I saw a picture of you and Danny Glover,
Danny
San
Glover.
Francisco native. But who has left something for you to just put in your back pocket? Get that little gem that you can keep.
Oh goodness. Danny didn't pour into me. He fussed at me actually.
Okay,
he
what?
didn't pour into me. He fussed at me.
Okay, that's a pour. That's a pour.
That was a pour.
Yeah, that's a correction. That's a correction. That's a character building moment. Teachable moments. You got
He,
to
he
be
was
teachers.
he was funny. But he's older now, so he's not the younger Danny Glover. He's an older Danny Glover. So when people get
No
older, they
filter.
no filter,
Just talking.
a little on the grumpier side. Like, come on, sit down. And then when I sat down, you know, I smiled, but I wasn't smiling hard enough. And he looked over at me and he nudged me. So he went boom with his arm. And I went,
You kind of
okay.
look like a little kid in the picture, so it looks like you was intimidated.
He pulled the dad grandpa move
The
like
grandpa, not dad. That's
yeah,
granddad.
he was like, you ain't smiling enough. And I
He
was
told
like,
you he
okay.
wasn't smiling enough.
He was like, and then when he nudged me, I started laughing. He was like, yeah, there you go. It
He
felt like
went
I
to
was making,
college. Him and my mom went to the San Francisco State together,
oh yeah.
and he's friends with one of my uncles.
Yeah, he was he was me. It's gonna go down the wrong
So
pipe.
he open your arms, open your arms.
Yeah, flap down and get
So
your
he did he pour into you,
excuse me,
or did he
no.
just punch you?
He just elbowed me. He just elbowed me. I've had the privilege of having Michael De Lorenzo as one of my mentors, and I don't tell people that, but I mean he's the Detective Torres from New York Undercover, the Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a mentor of mine. Love him dearly. I actually need to contact him this week. But
Tell him
he's
I said
poured,
hi.
I will. He's poured into me a lot over the last 6 years. Like he's
Good.
always, telling me like you're doing fine, da, 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 like those types of things, and then just evaluating things. Like he's always poured into me and like love and whatever else. So, he's taught me some things about like techniques or whatever. But
Okay, yeah. You need to learn from the poor ends now, right?
yeah,
Instead of punching and pushing me and telling me to smile, because you have a beautiful smile. You light up every room. That's what I
thank-
heard. That's the word on the streets.
oh my gosh, thank you.
So, can
Yeah,
you describe yourself? I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
no, you're fine.
Describe yourself today, right now, in this moment. Describe yourself in one word, just one word. Go. First word come to mind.
Resilient.
Yes. Yeah.
I, I was like, I
Okay.
was scared.
Yes. That's a good one. So, what would you tell someone? Of course, this is the common question. What would you tell someone who wants to follow your footsteps? They want to, not a whole bunch, just like pour into someone. Because once you get to where you're going, you got to turn around and reach back and help
Oh,
the person
absolutely,
behind you. So
absolutely.
today, what would you tell someone who wants to be in Hollywood, wants to act? What's the rest? MC, host, right? Tell them, what would you tell them? What would you say?
I would tell anybody who is looking to do what I'm doing is to start now and don't wait, and
Okay.
to get mentorship, proper mentorship, and to
That was
study.
good. That's good.
Study. Like, don't just, "Oh, I wanna be on TV," and why are you doing it? Are you doing it for fame, or are you doing it because you actually love it?
Now, when you
Because
say study, do you mean watch the movie, or are you talking about books and Google and research, or are you just talking about like watching and paying attention and taking notes? What do you
all
mean
of
by
it,
study? Okay.
all of it. You need to be
It's
doing
an observation of everything.
you need to be a student of your craft. If you wanna be an actor or an MC or host or whatever it is, you need to be a student of that. How did it start? When did it start? Who's doing what happened in that industry, the technique of it,
Right.
where the industry is going right now, what
Hmm.
options are out there in terms of work, and how can you make a living doing it, train, find out who the best coaches are, all those types of things. And like, who's filming in your area? Is this a good area for me to be in? Should I move?
Okay.
You don't have to jump the gun. You don't have to jump to like moving to LA. You can start wherever you are.
Start in Texas.
You start in Texas, you can start in Oakland. It's not much of an industry in either cities, but you can
Right.
get started. There are acting coaches, there are community theaters, there are theaters, prestigious theaters in the areas. So you can go and train, you can go observe and just ask questions, because when you're around the environment, you start to soak up the game.
Okay.
But if you're not around it, you can't soak up what you're
Soak
not
it up.
in.
Hmm.
You know what they say? You hang around the barbershop long enough, you'll get a haircut. You hang around actors and people who are working long enough, you'll start to soak it up and you'll start to learn
Okay.
that you didn't. That's why kids, people who have children, people who are successful, who have children, they automatic, it seems like it's like an automatic thing. You'd be like, oh, nepotism, nepotism. But really, that child has been in that environment for their entire life. They've seen where you've fallen short. They've seen what
Oh,
worked
for
and
sure. Sure.
and so
Hmm.
that's why they're better, and that's why they're able to do it so easily, because they've been watching, if you own a horse ranch or you race horses or whatever, they've been doing it since they were a kid and they've been seeing you do it all their lives. And so they know how to do it. They've been
Like a
helping out.
sponge.
Yeah,
They
like
like
a
a
sponge.
sponge. So,
Yeah.
what techniques do you use when you get into your characters? Like, how do you prepare? Do you pull? So this is the last question. Do you like pull from your when you pull your emotions out? Do you channel real life? Like, if you have to cry, do you think of someone that passed away so you could cry? Like, how do you? How does this work? What? How does this go?
There's
You know?
different there's different techniques for that. Um,
Okay.
maybe when I was like a little bit more green, I would just try to use real life situations, but that
Okay.
I learned over time that doesn't work for me, and being present
Okay.
is what really works for me, and not anticipating what my colleague is gonna do. Like, I might
Okay.
know the script, but they may do something differently, and that's when you incorporate the Meisner technique. So I do a lot of Meisner, I listen. I'm huge on listening, I'm huge on responding to what is given to me. So if you
Mhm.
if you are doing something that's off-putting, I'm not gonna if I'm supposed to cry, I'll cry. Like, I'm not gonna cry just because it says I'm supposed to cry. I only cry if it's warranted.
Is crying hard to do when you're not sad, or is that hard?
I mean, it's a muscle you have to learn to use. It's a muscle.
Okay.
So it's something you kinda
Oh,
train.
it's a muscle. Okay.
Some people train it and they can cry on the drop of a dime. For a few years ago, I could cry on the like within 10 seconds. Now I gotta
What?
think a little bit hard, but I also haven't been doing as much work as I'd like to be doing. The industry has been kind of up in arms, but um some people can do it at the drop of a dime. Some people need a little bit more time. For me, I just need to be present. But if it doesn't warrant a tear, I can't give you a tear just yet. And that's not everybody's philosophies are different. But if it's a time to be sad, I have to be present in that moment and like paying attention to everything and taking it in, because I am that person. Someone passes away, like in the movie. If I'm in that scene, I'm sad for real, like, because I'm taking it in as it's happening. But if somebody start busting out laughing, I'm gonna respond to that. I can't
You're
still.
gonna take that in too.
Yeah, because the script says I'm supposed to be sad, but then I look over to the left and my my colleague is starting to laugh and cry. I'm gonna start laughing too. Like, what's so
Like
funny?
that uncle, like that. Like, what are we laughing at?
What's funny? What you laughing at?
So,
Or I might get upset because it's like I'm sad and you're making a joke of it. I'm gonna react to that.
okay. So,
Mhm.
who would you want to work with in the industry? You probably got a long list.
Yeah, those
Is it the
guys.
same people? The same people you just named?
Yeah, pretty much. I definitely want to work with with Jonathan. I want to work with Daniel, Kaluuya, Yolanda Noel, Kelby.
Okay.
Like the guys for sure. I'm open to any of the women, like for real. Like I would
Okay.
love to do something with I had another like list of like who I would love to work with. Oh my gosh.
No
Sterling.
Denzel or Sam Jackson,
I met
Ice
him, but
Cube.
no, I haven't if Sam is still working when when we make that when I'm able to work with him, I would love to absolutely work with Sam.
Good.
Samuel Jackson is probably the number one person on my list to work with because Sam is a lot of fun. He's
He
funny.
started late. He started late, real late.
Yeah, and
Jungle Fever was his first movie.
was it? No, he
Yeah.
did his movie. He
No,
did
he's my favorite actor now. Go, you
Sam.
can go back
Sam
and
did.
look.
Um, he was in Do the Right Thing. Not Do the Right Thing. What's the one where the School Days too?
Oh,
Remember when they
okay.
went to
We
Fried?
ain't here. We ain't talking about him. We talking about you. Okay, girl.
But anyway,
Question. Got another one. That's fine, but he's my favorite. I love him.
yeah,
But question, real question.
Sterling K. Brown.
Huh?
Sterling K. Brown too from
Oh
Paradise.
yeah. Yeah, you girl, yes. Like, yeah. He's the
Yeah,
bomb.
yeah.
So would you do theater because you dance, sing,
Mhm.
act? Would you do theater?
Yeah, I've done theater,
Have
and I'll
you?
probably doing some theater soon. Yeah, real soon.
That seems hard because there is no next take one, take two. It's live. You gotta do it. And would you work with Tyler Perry?
I would work with Tyler Perry. I've auditioned for Sisters when it first came out. For one of the
Hmm.
lead characters, actually, I've auditioned for Bigger. I've auditioned for quite a few Tyler Perry movies and TV shows over the years, and I would do it
Okay.
absolutely. I'm still a new actor, so you know
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my work done however I can. But um, theater is not hard. Theater is it's one of those things where it's like you have to love it. You have to love the craft of it, and theater keeps
Yeah.
you toes. Theater makes you a better actor. Theater
Oh, I can see that because
is
it's
where
live.
yeah, this is where you learn to act. This is where you don't have a chance to do over. You miss your line, you better figure it out in the moment. Use
Ad
the
lib.
time.
You don't get fired for ad libbing. You forget your lines or something.
Well, if you have a generous cast, someone will probably help you. Like they'll come in, they'll say something that'll
Say
remind
something to make you get back. Uh-huh.
you. Like you're supposed to be handing me the water or something like that, but instead you forgot your line, and then you don't hand me the water, and then I just come up and I just take the water out of your hand, and then you
Or
can
put it
react.
in your hand and be like, "Can you give it to me, please?"
Not just me taking it out of the hand if we're having a fight scene and I snatch it out
Okay.
and make it like a part of the thing.
Right.
Now it's changed, but it's still like we still have our objectives, but now we have a new action that just occurred. But I'm being present with you, and you're being present with me,
We're
and
still,
I'll,
and the crowd doesn't even know that that wouldn't even. We didn't
yeah,
even get
yeah.
it.
I don't even know that we just missed the whole sequence or something like that. Yeah.
So this picture, this beautiful picture of you, it's a picture I got when you were walking the press line.
Hmm.
How is that? I'm sure this wasn't your first time, but you're walking, everybody's all those spokespersons or whatever, correspondents, I guess they're called. They're asking you the same questions as you walk down the walk. And how is that?
It was
You
fast.
look so pretty right there.
Thank you. To
Even
be
your
honest,
that other one is nice too.
it was a blur. It happened so
So
fast.
fast.
Like
Same questions they're asking you.
well, yeah, they ask everybody, I think, some of the same questions. I only did one interview because it's a long story about the premiere. I was supposed to get there much sooner than I did. And when I
I was
got
gonna
there,
say that. Were you late?
Oh yeah, I was very late, but it wasn't my fault. It was some of the things that was
The
outside.
LA traffic, maybe? Because,
No, but
okay.
yeah, it happened, and I made it. I was one of the last two people on the carpet. It was me, myself, and Montel Jordan. He was behind me, and then he went ahead of me because I did some other stuff on the carpet, and I was
Why
waiting.
was he there?
He did one of the songs on the soundtrack.
Oh, this is how we do it remix?
Oh my
No.
gosh, no, he's got a song on the soundtrack. I forget the title, but yeah, he's got
Okay.
yeah. Ashanti has some songs on there.
Yeah, they played hers in the movie.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's quite a few people who did music on the soundtrack, and he was one of them. He came as to support the film. Him and
Okay.
he's very tall.
Very tall. He is like 6'7", I think.
Yeah, 6'8", 6 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you really enjoy about acting? It seems like it's in your blood. You were made for this, but what do you really enjoy about it? And what do you not enjoy about it? I'm sure there's a downside to it too.
What I don't enjoy about it is that I don't get to do it as much as I'd like to. That's
Okay, well that may be coming up.
that may be coming up, and it should be, and it
You
will be.
better get ready. You just
Yeah,
put it in the universe.
yeah, it's coming.
Are
But
you listening?
but what I love about it the most is like I don't know. It's like a game of tennis when you're in a scene with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the ball over the fence, and then
Right.
you hit it back at me, and then I hit it again, and it's just like it's a game of
Ah,
oh,
ah.
and it gets so good and interesting to watch. But also, it's like you
Okay.
get to play all day, even no matter how serious it is. I just get to play. Um, I think that's the biggest thing that I love the most because I'm such an actor. Like I hate to. It sounds funny to be like, oh, just really be present and da-da-da. But like I really am an artist.
Yeah, do you get sensitive about your stuff? That's when
Yes,
you know you're an artist, or you get sensitive about your stuff.
yeah, I love it so much. I love being able to be present. I love being able to interact with people. And even when I can't interact with people, I love being able to just take a script, break it down, see what's here on the paper, and then throw it away too, and then have those conversations with the director. And they trust me with their vision. They trust me with what they've given me to make it come to life. It's an
Okay.
amazing thing to do.
Hmm. Wow.
And as you can see, it's not all glamorous. Sometimes the makeup chair is putting dirt on your teeth.
Yeah. And then you just bleh, all over the
Yeah,
screen. Yeah, that was nice. But it's art. It's
it's
art.
art. It
It's
told the
art.
story, got the job done.
Better that than them having to punch you in the face again. Or that's better than them saying, I need you to stay out here for 2 weeks and we'll come back and then we'll film your part.
Right.
Or you have to live it.
Mhm.
So, how do you stay positive and inspired? Because I know it's a lot of yes, a lot of no. This industry tells you no a lot, right?
Oh, yes. Definitely a lot of no's, a lot of
A
no.
lot of no's, right? So, how do you stay inspired?
I stay inspired. Well, for one, I'm a person of faith. I'm very
Very
Christian.
good.
So, I rely on my faith heavily, but also I keep my community, the people around me are also working actors, people who have had some type of success at it. And so we just kind
Okay. So,
of
your circle has to be what you want.
yes, you have to keep people around you that know better. And you can't go down a deep, dark hole all the time when things don't go your way. And then you just have to develop the skill of not caring about what happens. So, like I said,
Okay.
you get a script, you get an audition, and
Okay.
throw the sides away. You don't think about it. When I was younger, when I was more green, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, they haven't called me. It's been a week." If it's been a week, girl, you did not get the part. Like, what are you?
Okay. What do you mean when you say when I was more green? Because you said that like twice.
Yeah, it's when you're
And
green, when you're
what is
new to
that?
something, when you're new to something, you have different expectations. But the longer you stay in something, you know what to expect.
Okay. So do
You
you
have
turn red or what's the other color? Red?
green
Or
as
what?
in new, green as in like it's just a expression like meaning like you're new to it.
Right. But where you are now, what color are you now?
I don't know
Are
if
you red?
I'm not a color, but I'm rooted. I'm
Oh, so
rooted.
it's just green and then roots. You
Yeah, I
just
guess.
okay.
Yeah,
Good.
but now like I know better than to expect, an outcome. If I hear back, I hear back. If I don't, it's okay.
You're on to the next.
Yeah, on to the next. I'm still living my life. I'm still, got my many survival jobs or whatever. So,
Okay, so you got your hustle and your okay.
mhm. You
Cause
have
you
to.
gotta keep it moving. Living in California,
Yeah,
they say you gotta have a career, a job, and a hustle to be here, honey.
you do.
Okay. So what's next for you?
What's next? I just signed a whole new team these last 90 days. Specifically, I've signed a new manager and theatrical agent. So this week. So what's new for me is getting out and getting more auditions for more parts. We've had a really rough 2 years with the strikes and all that
The
stuff.
strike. I was thinking
Yeah,
that when you said that the industry was, I said, oh, she's probably talking about the strike.
yeah, we had
But
COVID
it kind of,
and the strikes
yeah.
after, so we just kind of had like this weird stagnation with the way the business was rolling. But now I think things are looking up. I'm pretty positive things are looking up.
Yeah,
So
so wait, back to COVID 2020, 2021, maybe. Did you work at all? Was there something to do, or were you just working on your craft and having another job? Or like, how did you survive the pan? I can't even say that word. Oh no, we can say that word, not the C word. But how did
mhm.
you survive 2020 and 2021, maybe even 2022?
I worked a lot actually. In 21, into 2020, I started booking. 2021, I was on fire. I
What?
had 114, 115 auditions, something like that, and I booked about 15 of them, which is great. Like it sounds crazy, but it was a lot of
Wait,
auditions.
one was the Super Bowl commercial, but Jerry Rice. I saw.
2022.
Okay, how was that? So, how are commercials different than movies? Like, is there anything different as far as preparing the taping? Is it shorter time in filming? Is it quick and to the point? Like, what's that process?
It's hard to
And
explain.
how was it working with Jerry Rice?
Jerry Rice was amazing.
I've
He's
danced with him at a club before.
he's amazing.
Okay,
He knows who he is, and
right.
he embodies that around people. He's very generous, very sweet, very kind to everybody on set.
Hmm,
Um,
hmm,
and he was funny. He was very funny. He was a pleasure to work with for sure. Um, when you do commercials versus TV, so it's a different type of acting. Like commercials,
How
you're
so?
selling something, right? You're selling something in the commercial. I have this bottle of water and I want you to buy it. I want to be happy about this water, but the movie, I could be drinking the water and it doesn't matter whether I'm happy or sad. You just need to know what's going on in the scene. Like
Hmm,
we're
hmm.
talking, we might be at a party drinking water at the pool, we're just enjoying the water. But in the movie, it's like the movie, it's about the people. It's not about the water, if that makes sense. So commercials are selling a product, whereas film and TV are selling the story of who the people are and what's going on.
Because
So
I've seen your Toyota Camry commercial. You was your little booze. Oh, it was
my
cute. You just
little
had to be cute. And then Tampax, you were really like, buy it.
girl.
You need this once a month. This is it. So
Right.
proud of you. You just know how to film,
It's
commercial,
spokesperson stuff.
TV. I remember seeing you on Station 19. I remember you cracked me up on was that show called The 20s? He was on a yoga mat asking the instructor was she gonna go up on the prices. I've
Right.
I've been following I'm a fan of yours. I've been following you.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah. I mean you're from the town, I'm from the town, so it's like I have to. And with
Right.
that being said, Friday, the town was sad. We're still sad. We're mourning the loss of the great Dwayne Patrice Wiggins, founder, member of the Tony R&B group from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. How do you feel? It was just sad, right?
Yeah. My mom went to high school with him too. So you know how your mom went to college with uh, Danny Glover. It's like we all
Yes.
have these the Bay Area legends. You know, we're all attached to them in some kind of way. And
Hmm.
I was sad. I heard about him being in hospice a couple of days before, but
Right.
it wasn't like big news because I heard it before it even hit the news. So I was just like, oh, what's going on? And
Okay, because I heard about it on Monday night.
oh yeah. So when
Hmm.
that happened, I was sad about it, of course, and it didn't really hit me until later on, like, because then I started seeing everybody else's reaction, and I just realized, like, no, he's like really that's Dwayne, like that's Mr. Wiggins, like
Because he lived in Oakland still. You saw him all the time.
yeah,
Ah, you
it's very
just
local, you know.
very. I shot pool with Dwayne a long time ago. This is
Yeah,
like just random. You always saw Dwayne at random, just like, "Hey, Dwayne," like, "What's up?" You know, it's like
yeah.
we shot pool together. It was me, my cousin, him, and Wishbone from Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh
We were
wow.
at some Billard's place in Emeryville long time ago,
Oh, I
and
know
I was
exactly
on
what
the
you're talking about.
not Christie's, but another spot around the corner.
Uh-huh.
And me and Wishbone was on teams, and my cousin and Dwayne was on teams, and Wishbone was good, girl. He was
Mhm.
like, so I was on his team. We won, and Dwayne bought us drinks or whatever. And then there was another memory I had. We were at a club downtown Oakland, somewhere by where it was Capwell's Emporium, and
Mhm.
he was just a dancer. He was high as a kite, but we was just a dancing. And we had a good time. So he was always. And then he had a club, Java House on Lakeshore. It was a cafe for open mic and all that, and because he poured a lot into the community for the youngsters. And
Mhm.
we used to be down there. He would be there sometimes, and oh my God, what a time to be alive! And then I just learned that he is behind Destiny's Child. He
Mhm.
developed Destiny's Child. They were here in Oakland, Beyonce, Kelly, and the other two.
Mhm.
And they were in West Oakland in his studio, and he groomed it. Not, I mean, not say that word because it's not even a good word anymore. He trained them.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So we
Yeah.
are saddened by this news. Were you
Yes.
able to see the concert when they reunited 2 years
I
ago?
I worked ironically, I worked that concert because I do events sometimes, so I worked that concert, but I didn't get to see the show, but I did get to I was so grateful of quite a few years ago, I was working a music conference in Oakland, and
Mm.
I was that particular year, I came on as a media sponsor, and so I got to interview him, and he was so kind to me. I was green yet again. I was super, super new to this. I was new to like being on camera and being, interviewing people and having questions. I didn't know, it's intimidating to go up to celebrities, especially like, award winning celebrities, super famous people, even though he was like very local, it's still him, and so
Yeah.
I asked if I can get an interview. He was like, "Yeah, sure." We did the interview. He was so kind to me. So, so kind to me. He's the first celebrity interview I ever did. He's
Oh, really?
yeah, he's the first person I've had so far. I haven't done a lot of interviews actually, but he's the first person I've had so far. So he's
What
going down.
year was that? What year was
Ooh,
that again?
2011, maybe
Okay.
2013.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. So,
Oh, I'm gonna. Ugh. Ugh.
yeah, I was like
So
fresh out of college.
I heard that they did the reunion tour because he was sick then.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I don't know how true it is, but I
Yeah,
definitely
because
see
you know
that.
here go the spectators. Oh, he looked sick. No, he did not. No, he
Mhm.
didn't. He did not look sick. How do you
Yeah,
know?
right.
Yeah.
And then they can say
Um.
because our phones are pouched up, that's why they did it and blah blah blah. I don't know what they did it for, but if that's what that's their business, they have
Well,
their
I
own
went to
reason.
they did lock our phones because I have one picture outside, and I went to see Bruno Mars, well, Bruno and Anderson Paak in Vegas, and we had to do that too. They actually wrote a song about we made y'all lock your phones up high. They was laughing. It was, but you do get to enjoy the concert more.
Mhm.
So before I let you go, can you tell us what your favorite Tony songs are? I won't. I mean, we've been doing five, but if you only have three, because you're a little younger, some of you might not remember the first album. Maybe you were came in on the third or second album. Do you have any favorite Tony songs you want to share with us? Don't sing them because my channel will get striked.
Okay,
I can't do the singing.
my favorite one is "Loving You."
Love. Okay, from the last album. See, you're a baby.
Is that
Yes.
the last album?
Uh-huh. The
Oh,
House of Soul, I think it's called. Uh-huh.
I don't
That's a
know.
good one. That's a good one.
One of my other ones is of course it's the hits like "Lay Your Head on My Pillow,"
Slow wine, whatever you want.
"Anniversary,"
Anniversary. It never
"It
rains.
Never Rains," and
I
then just
couldn't keep it to myself is one of mine.
I gotta hear that one, but yeah, I'm a little
Exactly.
bit, but I like even like "Diary" when Dwayne was on that one too.
So last night, D Nice did a shout out for Dwayne. Oh
Oh,
my gosh. And he played Diary three times in a row. And when I tell you Dwayne and that guitar was just ding, 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 oh my girl. This is amazing how you hear things differently when somebody passes. I just don't
hmm
know what that's about, but you
and how.
just hear connect better
hmm
when through sadness, I guess. But it was a good set. He did Dwayne very well. He did Oakland very well. We were
Yeah.
proud. Sheila E was in the chat too.
hmm
Yeah, so
And shout out to
I
Angie Sloan too, because like she had also come through Oakland and did some show. Remember, she came to Art and Soul years ago, and people were hanging out the windows in downtown. It was it was loud.
really,
Yeah,
she was supposed to be here August 4th and 5th.
yeah. That was one of my greatest memories of Art and Soul was when she came.
When she
'Cause
came.
'cause it was, how Dave Chappelle had his block party video
Yeah,
he did, and
yeah.
people were hanging all on the rooftop. And when she came out and did "Brother," that's just how it felt. It felt like we were in that video documentary of the Dave Chappelle thing. It's like people were
Oh,
literally hanging out the roof, hanging out of the windows of the buildings in downtown, sitting on the lampposts, and it was everybody was singing in sync. Everybody was dancing. It was just so I felt so
man.
warm and fuzzy. It just
Wow.
knowing the impact that she has had, knowing the impact that he has had, and how touching. And Oakland's a very special place when it comes to music. It's
It
a very
is.
special place because
It is.
you can't make you could at once upon a time you couldn't make it unless you came through Oakland. You couldn't make it.
And
You had
that's pretty much with everything. Comedy,
yeah, because Cat Williams,
the,
all of them had to come through
the
Oakland.
music, yes, definitely music. We have the list goes on, but
Mhm.
celebrities that's from Oakland,
Yeah,
definitely in music, honey.
yeah, you
You got
came
the
through
Pointer
Oakland.
Sisters,
Oh yeah,
Lenny Williams, Tony,
the Whispers.
Sly and the Family Stone. You got Confunction, E40, Too Short, MC Hammer,
hmm
Tupac. We claim Tupac. Legacy. It can go
Digital
on.
Underground.
Digital Underground,
Yeah, a
Richie
lot
Rich,
of
La
Richie Rich.
Russell.
Yeah,
Just and I know we missing a whole bunch of people, but we could be here all night. And
absolutely.
we do, and the ones we did not mention, we do recognize you because we just don't have time to go through it. Is anybody else?
There's a ton.
Yeah,
My brain said nope.
yeah. It's a ton. It's a ton. It's a ton. Tell my besties where they can follow you on social media. Put your platforms out there. Where can they follow you?
You can mainly find me lurking on Instagram. Instagram is like my main platform. I also have a YouTube
Okay.
channel, but mainly Instagram, and it's Crystal Gix, like my name that's plastered under my chin. It's Crystal Gix, and then there's an underscore. But if you just type in Crystal Gix, I should be the
You'll
first.
pop up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Google her besties, share her whole resume. Everything is there. Crystal GIX. Do you have a GIX experience page? I think I saw that.
Experience is my
Okay.
production company. Yeah.
Oh, you have a production company. I don't think I have that on your thing. A production company.
Yes.
Okay, is there something going on with that? Any projects we should be looking out for
I don't have anything to talk about at the moment,
at
but
the moment?
I did meet with some people yesterday and we were talking about writing. So there may be
So you're
something.
just busy writing. What are you gonna be writing? Movies,
It's
short
gonna be
films,
probably a short film.
Tubi movies?
I
How do you
mean,
get on Tubi? How does one get on Tubi? I know you don't have to be an actress.
you just make something and it could be 22 minutes and it can get on there. I think
You
22
don't
minutes.
want to do that?
I I'm not saying anything bad about Tubi,
Okay.
but I think I have a movie actually on Tubi.
You do?
I might. I
What do
think
you mean you might?
because sometimes when the distribution, like movies go from one platform to the next, so it might be on Amazon, it might be on Netflix, and it might
Oh,
end.
they picked that out.
Yeah.
They picked
So
that.
I think that one future, not well, I can't think of the name of the movie. The
Did
one
I
you
say
I
it?
asked, you said it earlier for me.
June, Walk by Faith.
Walk by
Where,
Faith might be on Tubi, but or it
where
might
can
be
we
on
find Two Psychos? Because I think I saw that clip.
Two Psychos that never got released. So that's another
No?
downside. Yeah, they never released it, and it was such a good short. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Like to this day, I would say it's good. And that was a long time ago. I was
Okay.
very new, but it was a good first go. It was a really fun movie. It was you thought me doing what I did and no address was gross. This movie took
It
all the
was because I
this
was not
was gory.
expecting that. And we both were like, that's her. That's her. She's like, that's her. I was like, oh gosh. With
That's
those
fun.
big feet.
Not you getting on my feet.
Let me see your feet. Put them up. Because I know they put makeup
Look,
on them feet.
I
That
don't have
was
any.
not your foot. It was a big old diabetic looking old crusty. Looked like that flip flop was about to pop.
Oh my gosh. No, she didn't.
I know, as pretty as this lady is up here, I know that wasn't your real foot. They put makeup on that foot
They put makeup on my foot for sure. But
and
she
made it
said
all
a
big and
diabetic.
diabetic.
Wow, that is hilarious. Not you getting on
Well,
my feet.
girl, let us see your feet. You gotta
I
post.
can't
Go on
get
Instagram and post your foot on Instagram, please.
right.
Let us see.
I don't think I
Well,
have
I
any.
want to thank you for spending time with me
Yeah.
today. Welcome to Behind the Shade. Make sure you follow my page, my channel. Like and subscribe, please. I'm going to put the video up pretty soon. I got to do some editing. But is there anything else you want to say or add that I didn't cover? You are totally free to talk about a past project. What is that?
That's my feet.
Is that your real foot?
That's my foot.
Oh. Maybe it was the way it was laying. It just looked real. I don't know. I
Fluffy.
apologize. Looked
No,
like a
you're
baked
fine.
potato.
Well,
But you're an actress. That's not your real foot. I know they put some makeup on that thing, set it
well,
this way, made it. And it probably looked worse on the ground when it was wet, but it was great. You did good. Those 4 or 5 seconds, you did good. I saw you. But I know that this is just the beginning. You're on your way, girl. You are on your
yes.
way. You are talented. You got the face, the smile. Look at her smile, y'all. Smile. Just lighten up. Oh, you just lighten up the room. Anything you want to tell us?
Just
You'll be
look.
back? Will you be back? The
I will
next
be back.
movie?
I will
Okay.
be back, and things are cooking up. So just be on the lookout for what's coming next, because a lot is coming.
Okay. And what song inspires you? You know, like let's say you wake up and you just want to quit. I mean, you may have something close to that feeling or emotion. Is there a song that you play? What's your song right now that you just bump in? You want to
Oh,
hear mine?
yeah. Let me hear yours.
Let Her Cook by
Oh,
Glorilla.
that's funny. Dun, 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 dun. Let us-
That is my song.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been listening to so much different, like so many different artists, but I know when I listen to whenever I listen to that it's my time to shine by Kelly Price.
Oh yes.
It's an old song, but I listen to that whenever I'm like I need a pick me up.
Yeah, yeah, because we need inspiration. We pray, we meditate, call our
Yeah.
mamas and mama, da, 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 but
Yeah.
call your friend. But like, you need all the avenues to stay
Yeah.
on course.
Or
Yeah.
Corinne Hawthorne. She has a
Yes,
song called
gospel.
yeah, but it doesn't sound like a gospel song. I
Because
think
she
it's
kind of like Dietrich Hatton. They like to play
yeah.
them in the middle little
Yeah,
songs.
I like in the middle because it's like it sounds like it's a bop,
You
but then
can
at
bump
the
it.
same time,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Like it's the God in me. That's kind of like a
I love that one. The God
yeah.
in Me, and then she also has a song. What's her name? The lady who sings that song, Erica Campbell. She has
Erica.
one called "Lord, I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." I like that.
Don't sing it. Say it. Don't sing
You
it.
be all right. You be all right.
Uh,
I did such a
I'm a
terrible job.
small content creator. One more thing. What is your mantra? What is your mission statement? What da 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 da.
Um, be humble. Sit down. No, just kidding. No, I'm kidding. My
Kendrick
no,
Lamar.
just empty the clip. That's my mantra. Is empty the clip.
Okay.
Stop playing small.
Just empty the clip.
Just empty the clip. Stop playing small.
Think
Stop playing
big,
small.
B. You
Yep.
saw
Think,
that? Think big, big.
think,
That's
think,
my
think.
favorite. You're
Stop,
thinking too
stop thinking
small. That's
big
your
and small.
problem. Then he walk off. I ain't got time to give you all the game.
Uh-huh.
Think big,
Exactly. Think
B.
big.
Think big, B.
Mm-hmm. Empty the clip.
Okay. Anything else you so we can follow you on Instagram with your name, Crystal Gix,
Yep.
Facebook,
Chris,
TikTok, Snapchat,
Crystal
Twitter.
Gix
Are
on
you on
all
X?
platforms. No,
Okay,
I'm
it's
not
your
on
name.
no
You're not
X.
on X?
No,
You're an
not on
actress. You gotta be on X.
for what? I'm on
Oh
thread.
wait, one more question just popped up because I gotta go do my recap. Oh, would you do reality TV? Just
No, not off the top of my head. No, I
too
wanted
private.
when I was younger. I wanted to be on the Real World, but
Okay, because it
I
was something new, different, fresh.
yeah, it was. I wanted to be on the Real World, but that's gone. And at this point, the way reality is, I don't really. I
It's
mean,
not
there's
acting.
always room for it because there's always room for reality, but it just depends on what it is. Like I'm not gonna be on TV fighting or
Not baddies, not loving
no,
hip hop.
no,
Maybe like what
that's
is
not my
that?
brand. That's not my brand. Me fighting and cat me and
No, no,
fighting.
no. You're too old for that. It's not even cute after a certain age.
It's not
But
cute. It's
one
not
into
something.
your life of acting, or like R&B divas or Hollywood divas, something like that
I'm
with more
too boring.
celebrities.
I'm too boring. I don't beef with people, so it's like they would never.
Yeah.
Like,
What
oh,
if you want to see me sleeping and
you want to see me on my hike?
moisturizing my face?
No, you want to see me floss my teeth and
Going to the pet, going to get a pedicure. What do you want to
like I'm
see?
so boring. Like if I have a falling out, it just happened and that's it. We're not gonna keep going and visiting, and we need to go do a confessional about it. So
Nope, we're gonna cut it off and keep it moving because
keep
we
it
gotta
moving
empty the clip somewhere else.
somewhere else. Seriously,
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time out. I wish you well.
thank you.
I want you to take care, and I will see you on your next screen.
Yes, ma'am,
If you
and
come back to this screen.
yes, ma'am, and thank you, and I wish you well as well.
Well,
Thank
thank
you for having me.
you. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.